Hello and welcome. In this video we will be talking about anti-patterns and in specifically playing animations. Now an anti-pattern, if you don't know, is basically a common approach to a problem that looks good on the outside but is actually bad and has some faults and some problems internally. So right here in this tool I have a script, and this is an example of an anti-pattern while playing animations. So if I go into this script right here, you will see that this looks regular. It's just a tool that when you click it plays an animation. Very simple. Very simple, I mean. Now what makes this bad is that you're loading an animation and playing it when you're clicking it. So meaning each time you click it, it would load a new animation. Now if you don't know what load animation does, it basically creates a track on this humanoid which you can play. But something that you may not know is that a track can be played multiple times. It doesn't have a limit of just one. It can be played infinitely, basically. So to put it as an analogy, you can pretend load animation to baking a cake, but this cake is infinite. So each time you're clicking, you're baking an infinite cake, and by playing it, you're just taking one slice of it. So hopefully that makes sense and makes it simpler, which is the reason why doing this is also bad. Another thing, actually, is that I'm using humanoid to load this animation. This is bad because loading animations through humanoid is deprecated, meaning there's something that is better than loading animations through the humanoid, and that would be the animator. Which, if I do .animator here, this would be the undeprecated version of load animation, which you should use in your future work as well. So what we are going to do is we're going to make a script that should erase these anti-patterns, and how you should script something like this. So we're going to start by creating a new tool. We will name this good, as this is how to eliminate this, or how to prevent this mess. So we're going to go in the script, and right here we're going to create a variable called track. We will store our track inside this variable so we can play it whenever, and it doesn't load the animation as much times as what you would do here. So right here it doesn't know what char is. So actually I did this wrong. We should just declare track itself. Then in the next part we will create an equip function, or equip I mean. So local function equip. This should store our track. So we'll do that later, and we should as well put the character, so char, that should be the parent of the tool. And we know what to load an animation. I could just copy this actually. Would be to get the animator this time instead of the humanoid and load the animation, and we want to load this animation object right here. So now that we have this loaded, what we can do is we can erase this as we don't need it, and this should play the track. But as you may notice, this happens to have the same problem, and the problem is that we are creating a track each time we are equipping a tool. We're not destroying the track itself. So what we can do is we don't need the track when it's unequipped, as we only play the track when you click it, and you can't click a tool if you don't have it equipped or activated, I mean. So what we can do is we can make a unequipped function, and this should destroy our track. So what we can do is track destroy, I think. I should fix it. And we should connect our functions. So now what we have is we are only creating a track when necessary, and that would be when we equip it. And this would mean that each time we have it equipped and play the track, it shouldn't load the animation multiple times. It should only load it one time. It should then, when we don't need it, or when it's unequipped, it should destroy that track. So we go to playtest right here. We can test it, but I don't really have an animation to show you, so I can't show you the difference. Now the reason this isn't working is because my animation track right here doesn't have an animation ID. The reason, and Roblox, when you want to load an animation, it doesn't let you load a track, or I mean an animation object that doesn't have anything in it. So we just put 1, 2, 3 on there. It should function normally, even though it's probably isn't an animation. Now, of course, this is prone to just one other problem, and you can't really do anything about that. And that is when a player equips and unequips a tool without clicking, and they do this multiple times. They would just load the animation, destroy, load animation, destroy, load animation, destroy. Hello again. I forgot to mention one other thing, that what we did before here, you could do the same if you can only click, like, let's say one time each 60 seconds. You can just destroy it afterwards by getting the length of the track. I think that should be time length, and then you can destroy it afterwards. But this actually shouldn't work on a normal script, because the track doesn't get the time length for some reason. It would just be 0. So this would wait for 0 or like 1 heartbeat, I'm pretty sure, and then just destroy it. So this shouldn't work. What you could do, however, is, I don't really like doing this, because you should really play your animations on the client, as that would be better, because you won't have to do this problem, because the track would already be loaded with everything like time length and all that stuff, unlike in a server script or a normal script where time length would just be 0 for whatever reason. So what you can do is you can do something like, while the track.timelength is equal 0, then you can wait that amount, and it should wait for a little bit until the time length is not equal 0, which that should pretty much be across every single animation, unless, however, you have something like an idle that is only one frame, but I'm actually not sure if that would mess with it or not. So that is also one way to fix that problem. And this is also another way if you can click multiple times. Both of them are fine depending on the situation, and there's also some other things, like if you have the tool on you at all times, you could load it at the beginning. You don't have to do all this equip and unequip stuff. You can just load it one time and then just play it whenever.